in person. We only get to see her once. Well, we get to see live and in person. It's Tammy Dooley.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
My fan club. I brought my fan club. One person.
You brought your crew, your whole crew's
You
here.
got more than we have, that's for sure.
So, I know that you told this story, and thank you for being with us, by the way.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I know you told this story about how you got to Granbury via Rick Neely in Midland, Texas. And I had forgotten about that.
Yes.
We meaning your husband, Mike Dooley.
Yes. Well, we were working in Midland. I was out there 14 years managing a big convention center arena. And but we had a house here. So I've been here since 93.
Oh.
So I've always...
You're a lake dweller?
Not on the lake. No, we're in Pecan Plantation, golf dweller.
I understand that they're expanding the golf. As if one golf course isn't enough. They went to 2, and now they're building a 3rd one. How many golf courses can you have?
Well, we have a lot of golfers, and to hear the golfers talk about it, never enough.
Yeah,
exactly. Sure. Always getting a new course to go to.
It's like a hot rod. You never need,
So with the 3rd course, the green fees and playing it round, now up to $400, $500 for 18 holes.
No.
You got to go to La Cantera or something like that in San Antonio.
No, it's very affordable. That's why so many people come here. And so
that's not the only reason.
Yeah, that's not the only reason. So so Rick and I knew each other when I was out in Midland, and we worked on some car events, and then the city of Granbury hired me when we sold our company, and one of the first people to call me is Rick Neely. He said, well, I put on the Lone Star Street Rod in Granbury, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
You can't get away from him.
Can't get away from him.
Now, is he friends with your husband, Mike?
Oh yeah, they work together out there too. Yeah, we were all in the same industry.
Wow.
Well, so we're kind of part of this.
Yes, absolutely. Well, when you do,
maybe not.
Maybe not. Not after today.
No. When you do events like this, and I know we talked about this once before. This is all about cars and automobiles, and it's a reunion for them, and we love it. But every weekend is a different type of event here in Granbury.
Mm-hmm.
So, one weekend we're all about rodeo cowboys, and everything's about Hood County Stampede, or or 4th of July hometown parade and fireworks, whatever it is. It just happens constantly here, and perfect segue. We're the celebration capital of Texas, so we.
Wait a minute! Wait, did you just blow that off?
No.
Where did that title come from?
That's a great story. In I guess it was about
10.
No.
When I was born.
No. I want to say like 22. I started exploring why we were not designated. We did not have a place moniker, which is about 100 cities in Texas have those. It can be anything.
A place moniker.
Yes, it's a designation that says who you really are as a community. So I started looking into it and couldn't believe Granbury didn't have one, because we could be so many things, right? And so, long story short, you have to go through the legislature to make this happen. It has to be sponsored by a senator and carried through the process, by a rep. And so we pulled the whole community together and said, who are we? And, you can't be one of the other 100 names.
True.
So you have to rule all those out, and then you have to really establish who you are. And, a lot of people, they have something like the pickle capital in Mansfield,
right, yeah.
or, whatever. I always say that it's unfair if you have a vegetable or a fruit, because that's just, obvious.
And you're asking for trouble with Don Armstrong. That's what you're asking for.
Right. And if you're very smart, you pick something that represents all year and not one day.
Not harvest season for the Strawberry Festival in Poteet or something like that.
Exactly. So see, those, and people recognize those. So we formed anyone who wanted to be part of it came together. We had brainstorming sessions. We talked. We narrowed it down to like 3 different things. And the thing that kept coming back was festivals and events, because we do more than our fair share for a city this size. And this lady that, in the room, her name's Stacy Howell, worked for an air conditioning company, says, well, what about celebration? And you literally could have heard a pin drop, and everybody said, that's it. That's it, because we could have been the monarch butterfly capital. There's so many things we could have been. But anyway, that was it, because people come to Granbury to celebrate everything. And so we went through the process with the legislature, and Shelby Slauson, our representative, carried it through, and we are officially now, since 23, the celebration capital of Texas. Literally, people called us and said they were so jealous. Why didn't they think of that? And
You took our name.
yeah, one of my friends in McAllen called and said, they do a lot of festivals, and they said, that's just not right. We're the celebration capital. And I said, no, you're the South Pole of Texas, and you're stuck with that forever.
Pickle factory, yeah.
Take that. I mean, rub it in a little bit.
But they were just, congratulating us, but also.
We're going to celebrate you didn't get the name.
But like Mineral Wells is the wellness capital. All the different cities are different things, and so I actually help cities sometimes when they're not they don't have an identity, and I explain to them the process of how you go about it, and it's cool to see somebody get that designation.
Yeah. Perfect.
Why does Lone Star Street Rod Association keep coming back here?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. And again, they've been here 10 years. So I was fortunate when I started working here that they were already here. They, I believe, they came from Fredericksburg on their last city. It's all about how you treat an event. You can promise them the moon to get them here, but if you do not continually let them know how valued they are, then
deliver,
then they can go anywhere they want to go. And we recognize that. We never take it for granted that they're here, or with any other event we have. We know that they have choices. So we, we do a lot of things to incentivize them. We offer all the services we're capable of, like, making sure the park is pretty and making sure that
it's available.
They have first ride on this date every year. And we actually have, if you saw, there's a farmer's market up at the Langdon grounds. They had contracted this throughout the whole summer. And when they contracted it with us, we said, that's great, but you cannot be there this weekend, because this weekend is all about Lone Star Street Ride. So it takes a commitment from our city and our staff to make sure that people like this are their legacy events. They're protected. We supply extra things for them, like the porta potties and all the different things.
The little necessities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that Rick was talking about a meeting that y'all had on Friday to talk about things and getting the local businesses involved in it.
True. We have a unique event we do every Friday. It's called Rise and Grind. And it is probably the best thing we do for our community. When I started here, the complaint I kept getting was nobody knows what's going on. Like, these events are still happening, but nobody knows what's going on.
So the locals don't know.
The locals.
Which events are coming out.
Exactly. Or they hear about them after or the week of or something. And they're, I've always said it's all about communication. So we started this little event. It was a Friday morning get-together, 9 o'clock. Everyone's invited, visitors, residents, businesses, especially events to promote themselves. And they're all invited. It's free. A different sponsor is every week brings donuts or something. And then we have 2 sponsors that take care of coffee and water. So it doesn't cost us anything. And we started with like 8 people. And we have been doing this every Friday since 2019. Even through COVID, we did it by Zoom. And then when we could start meeting again, we met 20 feet apart with our mask on. And, now it's, 2026, and we average 50 to 70 people every Friday.
Wow.
They all get to go around the room. They have up to 2 minutes to tell about their event. And I have to be the little, when they go over, I have to give them the evil eye, you know. And they love it. It is the most unifying community thing, and it's like people have FOMA if they don't go.
I have to tell you that the reason I bring all of this up with you is because we have a lot of listeners and viewers that are in car clubs that don't know the way to be able to work towards something this big. And I think that everybody that puts on a car show, a cruise-in, whatever it is, hope for the best. You know, they usually charge a nominal fee to show the car, and they get a trophy and all of that stuff. But how you go about it, I had very little experience in putting on a car show when I was with the Corvette Club back in the day, building Sharon sites. And we did, and it was in a city park in Alief, which is a subdivision of Houston. And there was a ton of work that we didn't know what we were getting into. You know, what kind of stage are we going to have? They didn't supply a stage. We had to do that. We had to supply something as far as drinks are concerned. I'm not talking about booze. I'm talking about water, soft drinks. What about food? This was an all-day affair that started at 9 o'clock in the morning and went till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, we didn't know. And so we didn't have anybody to be able to go to and say, okay, well, what do you suggest we do with this? How do we go about doing that? And see, this is the wealth of information that you bring to us in the car community that I'm sure that you have guided and helped these guys at Lone Star Street Rod to kind of develop this into what it has become. Because you can't do this without somebody like you. And you're a rarity. You know, convention and visitors bureaus are a dime a dozen all across the United States, and especially here in Texas. And they do well for what they do. But it seems to me that you've kind of bumped this whole thing up because of your experience. Yeah. And I would take that the experience came from your time out in Midland running the convention center.
Well, thank you. I will tell you, and I could talk about this for hours, and you are right in that, well, I've done this my whole life. I've been in events, and so I understand the impact of events into a community. The disconnect that events don't understand is letting people know that and how to communicate that to a tourism bureau. Usually they go in and just say, hey, I want some money or some kind of incentive to help. The key is to, first of all, go to a city that wants to do business with you. Go to a city that is going to make it easy. Find a champion.
That welcomes you.
That welcomes you.
Yeah,
If they're not wanting you and they're not looking for business, then right there is your clue. Don't go to that city. Find a city like, and I say Granbury. There's a lot of good cities that do this. And build a relationship with your Convention and Visitors Bureau and or chamber or whoever it is. In our case, all of this comes through our tourism department and the conference center, and start these partnerships and say, look, we want a home. We want to, what do you need from us to show the impact? And then once that relationship starts, if you have a good CVB, they're going to be your best advocate and friend. And that involves, and you can ask Rick Neely this, I mean, it involves money, services, support, stage. Anything this car club wants, we're going to provide. And why are we going to do that? Because we don't want them to go back to Fredericksburg or go back to wherever. We want this to be their home. So we have to give everything we can. And, you know, it's an incentive package that can be done through many, many ways. It can be discounts in hotels. It can be, you know, cash funding grants. It can be advertising opportunities. It can be swag, like I brought you swag. Oh, and, you know, it can be all the great things. And this relationship has evolved so much that we even get to do a trophy for a winning car. You know, we don't know anything how to pick cars, so we just pick the prettiest one.
The one you like.
Yeah, but you know, this is part of our family too. So if he wasn't happy or this group wasn't happy, they would come to us and tell us and give us an opportunity to make it better. So, and I love talking about this. And you are right. I am surprised at how many CVBs just don't see the value in that, but a lot of them do. And
you talked about your Friday conversation with the community company I'm with. We're part of Eastern Fort Bend County Chamber of Commerce. Once a month, they call it conversation, coffee and convos, conversation and coffee.
Yes.
And all of the chamber people that are willing to go there, they do support that, and they do have the coffee and donuts and things like that. But they network. How can we help support each other as well? Not just the community, but each other business. So that's what I'm part of where we're at.
How long did... I know the behind-the-scenes stuff, but when did you start promoting this event this year, when did you start promoting this?
We never stopped promoting it. When the
Do you have like a catalog, a book of things coming this year or something?
Oh yeah, yes. Our website gets over 1 million views a year. Visit Granbury,
Wow.
visitgranbury.com, and we have all of our events. So events that are on the same dates every year, like this event, immediately books next year. I mean, we already have it on the calendar, but immediately we contract it, and then it goes on our event calendar. And as we get updated information throughout the year, we drop that into our website. And then we produce printed material. We see 6,000 people through our visitor center a year. It truly is about understanding that each event brings a significant amount of impact. If you drive through Granbury right now, you see all the cars, you see all the people. They're staying in hotels multiple days, several hundred hotel rooms, and they eat in the restaurants. And
So if I were to go to pick a restaurant downtown, go in there and ask the owner, so what kind of impact does a Lone Star Street Rod have on your business here today? They would be forthcoming and say, oh, yeah, we love these guys. Or, I really haven't heard from the person that I thought I was going to hear from, but the whole place is full.
Yes. No, if anybody doesn't know they're here this weekend, they're living under a rock. Because, we have a street banner up across the street that says,
yes.
Welcome Lone Star Street Rod. And sometimes we put up billboards welcoming them here. We've been promoting it at Rise and Grind. Rick came yesterday and brought a car. It's all on our event calendar's website. We send out an email.
Electronic signs out
We
here
have
for the convention
electronic
center.
signs. We send out an email every Friday that has upcoming events for months and months and months out. And it's been on there, and that goes to 14,000 people every Thursday. So, and then it's all over social media, and our social media is huge. So, it's a great event, and see, all that is free because that's a service Visit Granbury provides, and it should be the
So
same
Visit
way.
Granbury's got a budget.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you have a budget, and does Street Rod Association pay you?
No, this is free. We do everything free.
Part
For-
of the
for them.
support from the city to them.
Yes, it's part of our support. All of our advertising and marketing is free to all of our events.
So you have a budget from the city.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a city department. Heavily, a big part of our budget is through the hotel occupancy tax, and that's the tax that is collected off of hotel rooms.
Sure.
And so, and then a lot of our budget comes from the Lake Granbury Conference Center revenue. And then the city also realizes the value of the impact of tourism, so they actually do general fund transfers. So I operate about a $2.7 million budget, which, is public knowledge. So that money is to generate tourism right
Which
back.
generates revenue to, Joe's Bar and Grill
Right.
and the Piccadilly Cafeteria and whatever.
Whatever. And our return on that, our total direct travel spending revenue back, according to the state of Texas, through Travel Texas, is $58 million. So we're investing 2.7
To get 58.
and our direct travel impact back into the community is 58 million, and in the county it's 80 million. So when you can speak to the truth to those numbers to your community and your events, then show what they do.
They take on a whole different language.
Exactly.
don't
Yes, that's how you speak tourism to a community, and that is the strength of events.
But it's a great destination. You got a huge lake here that runs, I think, all the way from the South Pole to the North Pole.
Yes.
And
21, 22 miles.
28 miles.
28
28
miles.
miles. There's a
It's
song,
grown.
26 miles run across the sea. Anyway, we love talking to you. And thank you for having us, as you always do. We appreciate you. And a great event, and we love coming. And it's a great story to tell. And I don't know, I'm hoping that our car club members and people that are interested in this sort of thing gain some knowledge from what you had to say about how to go about things like this.
Well, if anyone ever wants to ask that, I am happy to have that discussion. I just finished my year as president of the Texas Association of Fairs and Events. And I was fortunate enough to be president over all the events in Texas and fairs, and including Montgomery County Fair, my good friends down there. And so it was really cool. And so I am an event lover, and I just realized that. So if anyone ever needs help with event advice, give us a call, or our association, someone will come
And
out.
don't try to get her at home on the weekend because she ain't there.
No, playing golf.
That's
Probably
it.
playing golf.
Tammy Dooley, we love you. Thank you.
Thank
you
We
so much.
appreciate you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, you're invited to join us next week for our live show, 10 to noon Central Time. Listen and watch on InWheelTime.com, Facebook, and YouTube. If you miss it, you'll be able to connect through a podcast from your favorite podcast channel anytime. InWheelTime continues from Hewlett Park and the Lone Star Street Rod Association here in Granbury right after this. Stay with us.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Loopy Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Loopy Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Loopy Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Loopy experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Loopy beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Loopy Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla. Eats pretty good. Join the InWheelTime Car Talk Show as we hit the road for a live broadcast from the 51st Annual Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run at Hewlett Park in Granbury. This once-a-year rolling car collection takes place June 12th through the 14th. Check out hundreds of classic street rods, vendors, giveaways, awards, and family fun. Best of all, spectator admission is absolutely free. InWheelTime will be live from Granbury Saturday, June 13th, 9 to noon. Get all the deets at lssra.com.
Welcome back to the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. This week in auto history, and Mr. Mars has that.
Okay.
All right, coming up this week in auto history, we have a few things. Like in 1895, the Paris is the first race of 730 miles. It kind of helped demonstrate that motor cars could travel great distances, and that's part of what led off into it. Now, the winner, the person that crossed the finish line first, he was denied the official victory because he was driving a two-seater car. The race was for four-seaters only. Somebody didn't read the rules, so they kind of.
Sounds like Don Armstrong to me.
Yeah, exactly. So then in 1904, the FIA's predecessor was founded. Now, this is very French, so I'll do my best. The Association Internationale des Automobiles Clubs, something, was established.
Bravo.
Thank you very much. Anyway, so this became the governing body that eventually became Formula One and World Rally Championships and things. So blame it on them and the way they set it up back then. 1936 is when the Blue Ridge Parkway got its official name. Franklin D. Roosevelt actually signed the legislation to designate that pathway through the Appalachian Mountains. 1944, plans for the National Highway Network gained momentum. Now, this World War II ended, like we talked about, the hot rod world blew up. Transportation planners started trying to accommodate the world and changing because people were trying to travel more. Now, this was actually the precursor to the interstate highway system that we know now. Then, 1949, we've talked about it several times, Preston Tucker receives his patent for the Tucker 48 automobile. There's a lot of things very special about that car. Only 51 were actually built.
Yep.
And it was a sad story. Read the book or see the movie and check it
You'll
out.
cry with everybody.
Bring some popcorn.
Last thing I wanted to touch on real quick, 1953. Jaguar was running in the 21st race of the Le Mans, 24 Hours of Le Mans. And it was their disc brakes and the fact they didn't have to stop to change brakes is what let them win.
Cool.
They didn't have to stop to change brakes?
No.
Right, because the disc brakes, they could go longer than the padded brakes that everybody else was using.
So, you know, I know somebody that's got brake problems right now, and they've only got 30,000 miles on the car. Don't get me started.
Don't get you started.
Yeah, you did mention
Don't get him
Jaguar,
started.
didn't
Jaguar,
you?
Yes.
yeah.
Well, let's mention Volkswagen,
No,
too.
just move on. Move
InWheel
on.
Time Car Talk Show. We'll wrap things up from Hewlett Park in Granbury right after this break.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Sites will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963.
Well, that's it for this week's InWheel Time Car Talk Show. We're always looking for new, informative, and great automotive things to bring to our global audience. If you got an idea, an event, road trip, or a tall tale you'd like us to feature, let us know. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com. You can find the InWheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the InWheel Time app and website. Grab a podcast from your favorite podcast store. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, at InWheelTime.com. The InWheelTime video coordinator is we always need more Jeff Zekin. For booking agent and video editor Mike Out of This World Mars and chief engineer David Ainsley, I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks to show contributors Jeff Heitzman and George Skelton. Be sure and join us next Saturday where you'll find us back in our Dual City studios. We hope you'll join us. Thanks to the Lone Star Street Rod Association for another job well done on their state run. Have a great, safe trip home. We'll see you next week.
That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.